Most people misunderstand the core mechanism of fasting. It is often treated as an agonizing test of willpower, a punishment to force yourself to skip meals just to cut calories. But the real objective is entirely different. The goal is to build metabolic flexibility. That is the ability of your body to smoothly transition between burning the food you just ate and burning your stored fat without sudden energy crashes or afternoon brain fog. Before we map this out, it is important to note that this framework is designed for generally healthy adults. If you are on medications, managing a condition, or considering multi-day fasts, you need medical clearance first. Once you understand the precise hour-by-hour biological milestones your body moves through when you stop eating, fasting stops being a battle against hunger. Instead, it becomes a highly effective, predictable tool for cellular repair. The process starts before you even go to sleep. To hit the first major milestone, you need to stop all food intake at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. Think of your body as a house with two distinct power sources. You have the main grid, which runs on the food you recently ate. Then you have a massive backup generator sitting in the basement, your stored body fat. The house only switches over to the generator when the main grid powers down. Here is where the timing gets confusing. Your fasting clock does not start the moment you swallow your last bite. It only starts when insulin, the hormone that manages blood sugar, finishes its job and completely drops. That insulin acts like a padlock, keeping the main grid running and your fat stores locked away. If you eat a heavy dessert or a massive plate of pasta right before bed, insulin stays busy for 3 or 4 extra hours. You might be sleeping, but your body isn't fasting yet. The clock only starts ticking when insulin finally drops and the backup generator comes online. Properly spacing your final meal from your bedtime ensures that lock comes off early. This guarantees your body crosses into its first real fat-burning stage while you are fast asleep. Looking at this cellular environment, we can see what happens when the body realizes no new energy is coming in. Pushing past the 12-hour mark brings a critical biological shift. At 16 hours without food, an internal cleanup crew called autophagy kicks into high gear. Your cells begin inspecting themselves. The internal cleanup crew sweeps out damaged proteins, pulls apart worn-out cellular structures, and either recycles them into fresh parts or burns the remaining debris for energy. Researchers at institutions like Johns Hopkins point to this 16-hour internal refurbishing process as a key mechanism protecting the body against age-related physical decline. This chart tracks what happens next. Between 18 and 20 hours, your liver runs out of easy sugar. It starts converting stored fat into ketones, a clean-burning fuel that travels straight to your brain. This is also when you expect to feel starving, but the opposite happens. Hunger is controlled by a hormone called ghrelin, which operates in temporary waves. If you don't feed the wave, it crashes. Once ketones are flowing, the hunger waves flatline, and your mind gets noticeably sharper. Hit the 24-hour mark, and the cleanup crew upgrades to a full demolition team. Your body hunts down damaged cells, silencing the internal alarms that cause chronic, low-grade inflammation. Simultaneously, your digestive system gets a true vacation. The lining of your intestines finally has the continuous downtime required to repair micro-tears and strengthen as barriers. Riding out that temporary morning hunger wave yields immense physical dividends. It triggers a level of deep cellular repair and joint relief that you simply cannot access through standard daily calorie cutting. Moving into the advanced 48 to 72-hour fasting window brings up a common fear. If you go that long without food, won't your body cannibalize its own muscle tissue for energy? The biological reality is exactly the reverse. Check out this chart tracking growth hormone during a prolonged fast. Around the 48-hour mark, human growth hormone spikes to roughly 5 times its normal baseline. It acts as a bodyguard, shielding lean muscle and forcing the body to pull from fat stores. Push further to 72 hours, and you reach a biological threshold documented by researchers at the University of Southern California. At this stage, the body essentially reboots the entire immune system. After 3 days without food, the body clears out old, exhausted white blood cells that are no longer effective. It then signals your stem cells to manufacture a completely fresh wave of active immune cells, rapidly replacing them. You don't execute a 3-day fast casually or frequently. It is a built-in emergency factory reset button for your internal defense system, meant for rare and calculated maintenance. Coming out of a fast requires precision. The biggest mistake people make is the refeed crash, breaking a long fast with a massive, heavy meal. Your digestive system has been dormant. Hitting it with dense carbohydrates causes a harsh, uncomfortable blood sugar spike that shocks your system. You have to wake up your stomach gently. Avoid the pastas and pizzas. Instead, introduce high-quality building blocks for those newly generated cells. Bone broth, soft-boiled eggs, or a piece of avocado provide a smooth, safe transition back to processing food. Look at this calendar comparing two sustainable ways to build a fasting habit. You can set a daily 16-hour fasting block, eating between noon and 8. Or you can eat normally for 5 days and keep 2 days very light. Both setups work. The specific schedule matters less than the consistency. If your eating window shifts drastically from day to day, you induce the time zone effect. Your liver runs on its own internal clock, and constantly changing your eating times creates biological stress. You don't need to chase extreme fasting limits every week. Biological consistency is what trains your body to route energy flawlessly, keeping your metabolism responsive and steady. To recap the map, at 12 hours, you unlock your fat stores. At 16 hours, your cells clear out internal junk. Hit 24 hours and inflammation plummets. Push to 48 hours and growth hormone protects muscles. Reach 72 hours and your immune system completely reboots. Your next step is straightforward. Pick a daily schedule you can actually live with and clearly define your evening cutoff time starting tonight. Stop eating at least 2 to 3 hours before bed. By locking in this single, consistent daily rhythm, you leave calorie anxiety behind. You train your system to handle its own maintenance, unlocking the effortless, steady energy of a metabolically flexible body.